Next up, we will have qualifying heat D versus F for our seniors. 13 laps, 16 kilometres.
Course of this weekend, and he might make it a little bit more interesting now as he starts on the second row of the grid of this race with a brand new set of tyres. But Yindra Peschel and Matthew Higgins go from row number 1. Peschel has also deployed a brand new set of tyres on the left-hand side. Jensen Burnett joining Krutulov on that second row. Armin Kari-Osman and Joe Turney go from row number 3. They have not deployed tyres because Carmen did it earlier on. But Turney has not yet. Row number 4 sees Phillips and Kamenek. They have deployed tyres for this one. Sky Parker and Kaczynski on row number 5. Kaczynski also deploying tyres. Jörn Pokela and Oliver Rasmussen go from row 6. Rasmussen also fresh tyres on board. Paul Andriotis and Franciszek Szyjalski go from row number 7. No tyres for these two drivers. And then the next rows do see tyres. Stiller, Bachika, Detroja and Matsui all deploying tyres and rounding out the top 9 rows.
Following drivers then need to leave everything out there on the circuit because they could be in danger as we head through this point in the weekend. Row number 10, Efim Durinov and Radek Vavra. 11, new tyres for Jason Bralick. He's starting alongside Zhang Huzhe. Row number 12 is Maria Neto with Sebastiano Pavan. Then from row number 13 we have Olengali with Endo Arata. 14, Austin Gale with Meryl Perez, and then from row number 15, new tyres for Stelianos Kolovos and Elias Luan. 16, Lamberto Ferrari with Vilma Svan, and then from row number 17, Maka Sevlev with Mateus Gonzalez. Lights are out and we are racing down into turn number 1. Are we racing? No, we're not. We're going to go round again.
False start.
False start for these drivers. Those drivers then deploying those new tyres. Another opportunity to get that sort of sealing agent off of the tyre, get them scrubbed in and then get them up to temperature.
Bit more time to get that, yeah, as you said it, release agent off the tyre. The shiny tyre, isn't it, when it comes out of the box, and yeah, quite slippy when you first use it. But as soon as that's cleared, trust me, very, very grippy for the first few laps, and then they go into their conservation phase. And but of course, if they've been used a lot better than the rest of the drivers, they might be okay. So Armin Kari-Osman here might still be okay because, of course, deployed those tyres earlier on, so have got slightly more used tyres, but still a lot less used than what Joe Turney will have. Joe Turney has not deployed tyres at all yet this weekend, and this is a very Joe Turney thing to do. He always waits for the last opportunity to deploy them, sometimes even waiting for the superheats phase. There is Joe in the number 2 machine. For the United Kingdom. He has won absolutely everything championship-wise apart from the World Championships. This is the one race that has eluded him year after year. Can 2025 finally be his year? Here we go then, into the tram lines. We're racing down in towards turn 1. Good start for Peschel on those fresh tyres. Krutulov as well follows suit. Higgins and Burnett on those older used tyres won't be able to capitalise on these front runners. Through goes Joe Turney as well. Ooh. Krutulov on the attack. Higgins, though, might have to follow his teammate here as, oh dear, that's gone very wrong for a driver at the back of the field. Possibly, well, not Jensen Bralick, that was a spirit kart of Elias Lerman, unfortunately, in the 100 machine, who's trying to figure his way back onto the track. But has done so successfully at the back of the grid. I think he got caught up with Jensen Bralick on the MP racing machine, so a big shame for them. Eyes on the front, though. It is Tony Kart leading the 2 energy courses. Krutulov and Higgins, though, switching places as they go 2nd and 3rd on track, with 4th place being Joe Turney running out that P4. Burnett from Kamenek, Kari-Osman from Kaczynski, Phillips from Sky Parker locking out the top 10. As they all head through down in towards turn number 4. Keep an eye on those all-white liveried Elliot Kaczynski Ward Racing machine, sending it down the inside, and now up into P6.
Overtakes existing in between turns 2 and 3 then. That was one of the forces that you just saw a moment ago on your screens, really getting it correct in between those 2 curbs. Mid-pack Bassel getting all involved. Jesse Phillips trying to push his way up the order after a DNF yesterday and some other not so great results for the driver from Great Britain. Currently there on your screen, just pushing round Jensen Burnett, the driver from Canada, who has actually been consistently inside the top 5 or top 3 throughout this weekend, but in the early stages has pulled back into the mid-pack section. Busy stuff then through turns 4 and 5, and it's a man getting involved over the grass. It looks like that could have almost been a big one for the remainder of the drivers. The man, though, I think, back on the circuit.
He was missing the old circuit here at Kristianstad. Nearly he took the chicane there, that's now gone. But yeah, that's a very unfortunate moment for him. No fault of his own, he's just avoiding an incident in front of him. Eyes on this one, Paul Andriotis, though, fastest lap of the race, currently in 15th place, pushing through the order at the moment. We'll keep a close eye on that one. Here, though, on your screen, the intermediate classification still. Anagnostiadis has not been caught just yet. Krutulov and Turney, second and third for them, joint on points with 158.
Well, Krutulov then, in his interview just a moment ago, said that he thinks people should have high expectations of him for this weekend. And there he is now as your new race leader. Past Peschel, teammate of Matthew Higgins, couldn't quite gain off of that as well, but he is still there for the time being in P3. The Ukrainian driver has actually bridged a bit of a gap between himself and the Tony kart. Out of turn number 7, those two go. It's 2 tenths that split them up. There's Turney being pushed around by the likes of Kaczynski, Kamenek and Jesse Phillips in there as well. He was on a hot lap for that previous one. Purple just a moment ago. Joe then, question marks could be raised, hasn't deployed those new tyres, and it looks like maybe that's now going to affect him. Out of turn number 14, has lost 2 positions. It's Kamenek and Kaczynski that has just got past him. I think maybe it could be a bit of a poor tactical decision by Joe. Not sure if not using that tyre is going to help him with within this one, falling back into the clutches of the pack. Yeah,
indeed. Well, we'll keep a close eye on that one. Peter Stiller now the fastest driver out in circuit, currently in 9th place as you're watching the lead battle here. Lev Krutulov there in the race lead. Peschel from Higgins still 1, 2, 3 as they continue to push away from Kaczynski there in 4th place. But something tells me they're not pushing away from Kaczynski. Something tells me that Kaczynski's reeling them in because he's up 6 places. He has got fresh tyres on board. He has got a clean track in front of him now. And he is right there pushing forward. And now on that last lap, Kaczynski did a 50.387. That was 3 tenths faster than Matthew Higgins on that last lap alone.
Yeah, that's a lot of time over the course of just 1 lap. You might not be able to say 3 tenths very quickly, but on a circuit only 1.2 kilometres, it's going to be a night and day difference. There's changes between the two Forzas there then on your screen. Kara Osman and Jensen Burnett trading places. This is the energy core sandwich, though, that Jindřich Peschel finds himself in the middle of. Peschel had that seize in his previous heat. Big mechanical issue from him. Also had a DNF yesterday during the heats. So although he's currently sat P2 on the road, I'm not sure how much is going to help him overall within that intermediate classification. There on your screen, Joe Turney, the number 2 from 2024. A driver who is a favourite going into this weekend. And many of the teams, many of the viewers at home and the remainder of the paddock. Driver who has not deployed that new tyre just yet. Questioned if it was going to affect him, but for now he's still got that good pace. He's not lost any more positions for the time being. And on your screens, that's a move. That is Sarah Matsoy trying to get herself up the order, but further down in the pack for Matsoy. P20 currently, make it actually, P19. Right then, Anthony, you called it. Elliot Kaczynski had that great pace, and now he is a cloud for Matthew Higgins. Look at how much that gap has reduced. Higgins going into turn number 4. I think he's under pressure. Is this where the wall goes for it? Yes, it is. Pulls it off. Very nicely done.
That's smooth as you like, that one there at all. But I'm looking at that nose cone. I hate to be the bearer of bad news on that, but it looks like it may be dragging a little bit. As down the inside, Jakub Kamenek goes to the move as well on Higgins. Higgins now just dropping to P6 now, but we'll keep a close eye on it. But yes, pushing very nicely through the field, and we'll keep an eye on that fight as they go through. But here on the screen still, everyone holding to position apart from this fight here. Peter Stiller pushing forward. This is nice to see for Peter Stiller. I mentioned it yesterday. Nicole, graduating from his Minerva Academy programme as well.
There we go then. Education always important for these drivers. They might be racing drivers, but you've got to get one, boys and girls. Here we go then, on your screens, once more, it's Matthew Higgins. Previous couple of laps really lacked pace to his Energy teammates of Krutulov out there in the front. Now loses position to another driver, this time a VDK. Has maybe tried to respond and matched Lev on that previous lap with the time, but is now looking like he's falling into the hands of Jesse Phillips. Phillips, the Fusion driver, watch what he does into turn number 14. Down the hill he goes. There we go. Move is on, move is completed. Now Higgins and Phillips have traded position for P6. Under investigation is now Elias Leman, the number 100, potentially causing a collision. Still, they continue on this charge. Lev Krutulov now a second in the lead from Jindřich Peschel. Peter Stiller is the fastest driver, however, on the track. It's a 49.904, the time to beat for these drivers. Stiller, VDK, who is inside the top 5 now, chasing down Kamenek, was the driver you saw moments ago overtake Higgins to promote himself up the order.
Indeed, and keeping that fight in our screens as well. Eyes on this one, though. The Kaczynski-Kamenek-Stiller battle as Peter Stiller looks to the inside there into the final corner. I think he got that move done as we cut back to the group just behind them, still fighting through. And yes, I think Stiller has got up now into 4th place and pushing through pretty nicely now to close into Elliot Kaczynski just ahead. Peschel now under pressure. Elliot Kaczynski possibly going for 2nd place, question mark. And all the more I see that nose cone just bobble up and down. I think it has dropped on that Ward Racing machine there. For Kaczynski. There is the stats for Peter Stiller. That is the driver of the number 38 machine just behind the all-white liveried Ward Racing machine now. And you can see, started 15th, currently 4th, gain of 11 places. Can he make it 12 here? Yes, he is. Throws the dummy down the inside. Peter Stiller up to P3.
Good stuff then by the VDK driver. They're a team who have had World Championships underneath their belts before. Last time they had one actually was at this circuit, so don't count them out of this weekend. Don't count out Stiller. Good places gained, 12 positions for that driver, who maybe looks like he could be hungry for yet another. Pushing up to the back of Pete Peschel down the inside and pulls it off. Peter Stiller picks off another position, ambitious as you likes, but controlled, calm, and gets it done. It was 12 places. Now make it 13.
There's a look at previous world champions in the OK class up to 2019, and that does bring me on to a subject that I'll talk about tomorrow in this one. But many names there. Ethan Gefcall, of course, at PFI. Greg Kutzkoff as well. Great show for him in Blanchard as well. So really big names that have stepped up in the orders there. In the championships. But right now, focusing on this one as we go into the final lap of the race, it's really hard to put a finger on who could be a driver to do it. Lev Krutulov, of course, at the start of this weekend did say, watch out for me, I'll be one to watch, and he's certainly not disappointed with that one with this race lead. He's looking at 158 points and moving into 2nd in the intermediate classifications. Out of the final corner he goes. Lev Krutulov will take his first win in the qualifying heats phase. Cool, calm, collected as they're side by side across the start-finish line between Kaczynski and Kamenek. Stiller takes 2nd, Peschel takes 3rd, Kaczynski, Kamenek, Phillips, Rasmussen from Turney, Higgins 9th, and Jensen Burnett rounding out the top 10. But Lev Krutulov, it's his first win of the weekend, winning from 3rd. It's a good run for the Energy Course driver.
Well, Energy Course then, they have a shopping list of FIA titles under their belt. But in the new era of karting since 2016, when the FIA World Championship jumped over to the OK category, Energy have not had better than a P3 in this competition. But maybe, like Krutulov said in his driver interview, he could be the one to put his name on the board. Watch out for the Ukrainian driver, who finishes in P1 ahead of Stiller, who was on that fantastic charge of 13 positions. Jindřich Peschel, who went through the top 10 and the top 15. It was Paul Androttis that rounded out your top 15. Then we had Zhang Hujie, Maria Neto, Samuel Matsoy, Jagrat Troija, Lendo Arata as your top finishers. In the top 20, Radek Vavra, Franziska Stajaleski, Vilma Svan, Yuri Bachika and Marko Sevelev are your top 25. Then the remaining finishers of the race include Meryl Perez, Sebastiano Pavan,